is a health practitioner, and she is here to speak about contraceptives. We will speak about male contraceptives. We will speak about female contraceptives. We'll speak about so many things to do with contraceptives. So I cannot wait to get into this. So, Amie, karibu.
Thank you so much.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Amie Simiyu, and as you said, I'm a health practitioner.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
So, straight into it. What is a contraceptive?
I think contraceptives are either drugs or devices that are used to prevent pregnancies or sexually transmitted infections.
Okay, so have contraceptives always existed? So, for instance, in the African societies, African traditional societies, were there contraceptives, and what forms were those?
Okay, yeah, I think back then we had contraceptives, and one of the contraceptives we had back then was abstinence. That is the main contraceptive we had, and the other one was rhythm contraceptives. That is
Ma'am, what is rhythm contraceptives?
rhythm contraceptives is what people call nowadays the safe days period.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually that was the main form of contraceptives back then. People did not know about condoms, and it's funny because actually the Roman Catholic Church sanctioned the rhythm contraceptive method. Yeah, so that is what.
Okay, so now later on there's colonialism and there's the introduction of foreign medication and the introduction of contraceptives as well. So what forms of contraceptives, of medical contraceptives are now available? And I will start with women. For women.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with women, we have the IUDs, which are the intrauterine devices. These are devices that are put in the uterus. And so we also have the hormonal contraceptives. We have the implants, which are put under the arms of the women. And we also have the injections, the 3-month injections. We also have the oral contraceptives, which are taken orally, the pill. And we also have female condoms. We have vaginal rings. Yeah, we just to mention but a few. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned by hormonal, and you said IUDs as non-hormonal.
Yes.
And I suppose condoms as well are
non-hormonal.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what is the difference between hormonal and non-hormonal? And also, what are the side effects of hormonal and non-hormonal?
Yeah, so I'll say the difference between hormonal and non-hormonal is that hormonal contraceptives bring you side effects. You have side effects. Yeah, they react with your hormones. Yeah, so such as maybe the injections. The injection, you find that the 3 months injections especially, people always complain of problems of maybe if you're married and maybe you didn't want to get a child for like 6 months, and then you decide, let me go and get the 3-month injection. So after you get the 3-month injection, then you expect to, of course, when you start trying, you expect to get a child after the 3 months that you have had. So you see people are really struggling with getting pregnant.
Okay.
For a while, a year or down to, it depends with your hormones also. So those are one of the side effects of the hormonal birth control, that is the injection. But you find that with the IUDs, you see they are non-hormonal. So once you just put it's like a T-like shaped device, yes, that is put in your uterus. Yeah, so you see it has no hormones. You see it can stay from like 3 years to 10 years, and you'll just have it and you won't feel anything. It's so I feel like that is one of the best for me. Yeah, I'd prefer the intrauterine device.
So I've had stories of babies coming out like holding IUDs. The same baby you're trying to prevent from having in the first instance. So how do you find what contraceptives work for you as a woman?
Yeah. Okay, I'd say first, hormonal contraceptives are just hormonal. And we all have hormones. Yeah, so be sure that they will react with your body one way or the other. Yeah. So for me, I'd advise when you are going out to source for a contraceptive, the IUD for me is the best, because the hormonals are bringing really so much problems to women nowadays.
As you mentioned, some pills have, research has shown that they have a direct correlation to cancer. So my other question is now, fast forward now, there's male contraceptives. Speak to me about male contraceptives.
This is such an interesting topic because
I know, I love it.
I always think of, just before I mentioned that, I always think that since these contraceptives are maybe adequate use of contraceptives might be detrimental to the woman's health. So why don't we share this, side effects? Why don't we share these problems?
I'd
you understand?
Bump you if it did not implicate discourse. So I'd just like to say my reaction is not a direct reaction of discourse.
So I'm actually so excited. Not that they've not been male contraceptives. They have been, like the vasectomy. And the condom is a male contraceptive.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe you'll find that the vasectomy is more of a irreversible. So that's why maybe people are going through the pill that is a bit reversible. So I'd say there have been trials and developments about male contraceptives, and I'm excited about one in specific, which is the male contraceptive gel.
Gel?
Yeah, it's a gel. Okay. The development has actually reached K&H at the moment, and they're starting to.
Our male listeners can head over
and
purchase.
Actually join
in this contraceptives journey.
So this gel actually is very interesting because they were saying it's it's combining the nostril and the testosterone together. So, and you see what these two ninis do, they suppress the spermatogenesis. This is the development of sperms. Okay. So so it suppresses it. So you see when it suppresses it, maybe it means that you cannot, if it's suppressing the hormones, that means it's impossible to get the female pregnant. So that is one of the male contraceptives that have come up. The second one is the DMAU pill.
DMAU pill?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I'm still trying to wonder, to also I'm waiting. They're still developing. They've said they're still developing, but they've said the research has shown that actually it has some side effects, like maybe you sweat, and weight gain, and acne.
So pretty much what is in
the
women's contraceptives.
Yeah, and by the back of my mind, I'm like, you see, if we can stand that, I think it's also fair for them to. So, but it's still under development, so I can't wait to see what they have in store for us.
Okay. So talk to me about the receptiveness of contraceptives over time. So for both men and women, because as much as there's contraceptives for women, there's still a lot of control, say by religion or by culture, that would then make a woman not access contraceptives. So talk to me about what the reception has been like over time, and what we are hoping that the reception will be like with time. Because again, I suppose the aim is not necessarily population control, but more of a child when one is ready for a child. Please.
I like what you've said, like a child when one is ready to have a child. And I believe like that is how it should be. We should be able to choose when we have, if first of all we want to have a child, and when we want to have a child. So I'd say first of all, just that awareness, maybe in places where they're not aware of these contraceptive methods. You'd find that people are ignorant. But when it comes to religion, I'd say that would really depend on an individual, because as I said earlier, the Catholic Church does not believe in contraceptive methods. So what do they do?
Now?
Up until now, yes. Okay. So what they prefer is actually the safe days period. And to be honest, that is not the safest method of contraceptive, unless you're dealing with a woman who has regular menses, you understand? And see, so the rest of the women, where do they fall? You understand? So for me, that I would leave to the person as an individual when it comes to religion. But when it comes to maybe information, I'd say many people do not, the people who do not have that information about this. You see, ukiambia mtu about contraceptives, the first thing that comes into their mind is, yo, nilisikia what people don't get pregnant after this.
Right.
You see, so the stigmatization is already there, you understand? But once there's awareness, you see, you just go to those places and you make these people aware that contraceptive is actually here to help you. You understand, at the end of the day, yeah. So I'd say that is, yeah.
Okay. So my other question, as you said about awareness and the importance to raise awareness, how important is it to have comprehensive sex education that then teaches both women and men about, not only about reproductive health, but also about contraceptives?
Okay.
How important is this, and if it's important?
Okay, I'd say it's important. One, because not only in, because nowadays you find that there are sexual assault. There's sexual assault out here, you see. So not only is it important to like safeguard the pregnancy part of it, but also when someone, you find that the emergency pills that are here, when someone has sexual assault, you see, before they go to the hospital to actually get further, they'll need to get this this emergency pill, because so that's number one, very important in the society. Number two, I'd say we are headed to a time where I think it's not, we need to be accountable for ourselves, I think, let me say, because I think in the older days, you could find women were just giving birth, and you'd see maybe the condition of the home is not really good, but they do not know about this birth control measures. So they will just give birth to 6 children, you understand, and struggle through it. Yeah, but I think where we are at right now, we don't need to do that. You can actually plan your nini. If you're not ready to have kids, then do not have kids by all means, you understand me? So you can't say that ilikuja by mistake. That would be ignorance. Yeah, because there are measures that can be put down to actually ensure that you're safe, you have safe sex and such things. Yeah.
Right. So the importance of comprehensive and proper sex education is again awareness, creating awareness. So we eradicate ignorance. Yeah. So in parting, what do you have to say about contraceptives? Should we get them regardless of the fears you have? Where do you get them? How do you get them? Should I get them? Because you said, okay, no, you are a healthcare practitioner. So for instance, if my friend says, oh, I tried this pill and it worked for me, should I also get it because it worked for them? Okay. So what do we do? How do we navigate this situation?
Okay, I'll start by saying, okay, so you asked where should we get them, and nowadays I feel like even in our schools, in our universities, they have a segment where they put condoms, and I feel like that's actually a good, except for the Catholic fraternity where they don't believe in that, so you would, but I think that's a good initiative that they're starting. So I think, and they're free of charge. You actually don't buy them there, and so, and at the cost of let's say, for example, condoms are not that expensive in the shops. So you could just walk in a shop, and if you're not comfortable with these other birth control measures, you could just walk in a shop and get condoms. Yeah, you see, that will save you a whole lot. And also, I'd say contraceptives for women are quite expensive for now. Things like IUDs, you'll see that when you walk into a hospital, you'll be told 5 Gs to insert IUD. You see, and you see that not everyone can afford that 5 Gs. You understand? Yeah, so
and it is not even like an assured thing that it will stay there. Is it assured? Yes. So if you have like heavy cramping and heavy bleeding, does it still stick?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Because when you go to the right
place,
professionally, they will surely do it the right way. And that bleeding, and maybe bleeding, it comes for about 3 to 6 months, and then it will fade away.
Okay.
But you see, so I'd say such things should be implemented. So, what was
You're talking about affordability.
Yeah, so for the affordability, so I'd go for actually the condoms, and there are female condoms also. It is maybe people do not know how to have, and have not embraced it as much. Yeah, so I'd go for female condoms and maybe the pills, the birth control pills. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, so as you also, and I'd also encourage the male contraceptives to actually be so it should be, sorry,
maybe people should talk
more about it. Yes,
like
it should be
accessible. It should be embraced.
Yes, right? yes. Yeah, because I am sure these men do not mind using contraceptives if they were asked in their opinion. Yeah, I'd like to really listen and know what it is they think. Yeah,
I mean, now you don't have to really think about child support.
Exactly, because I think it's a two-way thing. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So I am really pushing for that male contraceptive gel and pill, and you see, and I'm looking forward to having men also experiencing what it is other women are experiencing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Your insight has been very valuable. I really do appreciate you taking your time and coming here, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Amie.
Thank you so much. It's good.
And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you do have any questions, please feel free to go to the comment section on our YouTube pages, on our Facebook pages, Twitter, and just ask your questions there. Our handle is at DiscussKE across all platforms. Invite your friends, subscribe, share, like, and any other thing I have missed. And if you have questions, you have an opinion to express, please, by all means, do so. Engage with us. My name is Joy, and in parting, I would like to welcome you to keep watching the discourse. Bye.